Welcome back. In your consumer alert, don't expect mortgage rates to go down anytime soon. 30-year rates are higher than they've been since 2008.
But what do these higher rates mean for those looking to buy right now? Here with us this afternoon is Jonathan Everett with the Blackwood Program in real estate at Virginia Tech. Jonathan, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, the rate increases may sound small, but really they add up to thousands of dollars. So can you tell us how much more would someone pay monthly for a $200,000 home than they would have last year?
Sure, and really we don't even have to go back that far. Even if we compare just 6 months ago, if you look at a $200,000 purchase, 20% down on a 30-year mortgage, a home buyer today is going to be paying close to $246 more per month than they would have just at the beginning of this year. And obviously, the higher that purchase price, the more noticeable the difference, right? If you're to look at the median sales price of existing homes, that difference is closer to almost $500 per month. The reality is the last time we consistently saw rates over 4% was in 2019, and the last time we consistently saw rates over 5% was closer to 2009 and 2010.
And Jonathan, higher interest rates may have some folks thinking about getting a shorter term loan to help them pay less in interest, but what are the drawbacks those buyers face?
Sure. So personally, I think the biggest drawback is lack of flexibility, right? Once I commit to a mortgage payment, I'm committing to that payment for the life of the loan. So the lender expects my payments to be made in full, on time, every single month. So if something happens to my income or my expenses, like in a high inflation environment we are in, I still need to find a way to make my full payment. So there are some benefits, however, right? You pay less interest over the life of the loan. You pay off your mortgage much sooner than a 30-year mortgage. Ultimately, there are pros and cons to each mortgage product, and each borrower needs to understand those implications in the context of their personal and financial circumstances, right? The key is understanding what those implications are and building a solid plan to offset the risks, right? And a good mortgage broker or lender will help walk you through those various considerations.
Absolutely. And what do these high rates mean for the American dream? I mean, with inflation just busting budgets right now, are mid to low earners going to be shut out of the housing market?
Yeah, that's a great question and a really tough question. I would argue that unfortunately the housing market has proven challenging for mid to low income earners for a while now, right? There was already a lot of competition for entry level or affordable homes due to a lack of supply. And I think recent changes in interest rates have the potential to make that market even more competitive, right? As interest rates rise, purchasing power depletes. So home buyers that were looking at one price range may now be looking at a lower price range, increasing the pool of buyers. Additionally, high inflation means tighter budgets all around. However, I would encourage home buyers to be patient, as there are usually opportunities for those with the right expectations and mindset to endure. But it's important to keep a level head when making offers and exercise proper financial principles.
Well, Jonathan, speaking of the housing market, do you think rising rates will lead to some stability in the housing market or a decrease in asking prices? And also, do you think the owners will be more reluctant to sell?
Sure, another great question. And I think sale prices will be impacted by the increase in rates. And I think we're already seeing signs of that in this market. Anecdotally, in my local market, I feel like I've seen more price reductions in recent months than I've seen in a while, particularly medium to higher priced homes. Admittedly, not staggering decreases, but still an observation. Ultimately, if rates stay where they are at or continue to rise, either housing inventory is going to need to increase significantly, which I don't see happening anytime soon, or wages will need to increase. To me, I think a stalling or slight decline in sales prices is the most likely outcome in the short to medium term. The challenge, pertaining to your question about current homeowners selling, the challenge with selling in today's environment is the moment you sell your primary residence, you become a buyer, right, and are now susceptible to all the same issues buyers are currently facing: competitive market, higher interest rates, etc. The reality is, when it's a phenomenal time to sell, it's often not a great time to buy. And so selling a primary residence in this environment is challenging unless you have an alternative primary residence already lined up. But there will always be sales driven by changes in needs, wants, or life circumstances.
Well, certainly a lot to unpack, but good information.
Yeah.
Jonathan Everett, assistant professor with the Blackwood Program in real estate at Virginia Tech. Thanks so much for talking with us this afternoon.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, well, stick around because there's more WFXR news at noon right after this break.